and welcome to this new series from the Blockheads, and this series is going to be all about Bukkit. Essentially it'll be me looking at all sorts of different plugins and going through what they do, how you use them, all the configuration, and anything that you really need to know about all the plugins. So today we are starting with one of my favourite plugins, and I use it in my own server. Many of you might, well, probably know it, and you might even use it in your own server, but even if you do, you might want to find some help on using it. I certainly did when I first found it. I was looking through loads of videos and stuff, so I hope this video gives you a bit of a helping hand with all that. And yeah, so what you want to do is go into search engine and search for Bukkit plugins, and then you'll get to this page. And then in where it says title and this sort of search bar, just type PEX, which is short for PermissionsEx, or you can type it where, just search PEX, and it should come up. If you enter, yeah, it should just come up. And it's this one. It says admin/dev PermissionsEx tomorrow today. So that's one you want to click on. So we'll just go through down how to download it and everything, how to install it. So what you'll want to do is that's just a forum to look at the forum. You can donate or whatever. Some current features like Superperms compatible, all sorts of things. So yeah, you can have a quick read through that if you want to pause the video to read through it. But yeah, there's a little video of someone else. Don't you watch this video, watch mine. But no, you can look at wiki, the basic setup tutorial, and another tutorial. I looked at all three of these and they're all really helpful. You should definitely use them if you want to. I will put those links in the description for you. And then we have the downloads. So what you can have here is either the stable version, which I download because it all works and everything, or the development version, which this is mostly stable, but yeah, it's worth getting the stable version just in case you encounter any hiccups with the plugin. So you can take a look at all these different things. I'm not sure what that is. Well, I don't know what that is, but yeah. But yeah, what we want to do is go to the stable version and download it. So if we click this one, you can download it. Go to Minecraft. We go to servers. I'll put it into Minecraft. Actually, I've got it in here already, I think. Well, let's quickly do. Oh crap! Sorry. I will quickly get rid of these things so you can just download it again. So what you're gonna do is save this into your plugins folder. I think this is a it's a WinRAR zip archive, or it will come up as zip archive. If you have something like WinRAR, it will just save as a zip basically, and then you'll have to unzip it inside this folder. I always advise getting WinRAR. It's much more easier to unzip and zip and RAR and everything, all the folders. So I always advise getting that. So you'll just save it to, oh god, what's going on here? What is happening? Okay, this is very strange. Yeah, let's go through here. X, Minecraft, servers, Bukkit. Maybe just say here. Yeah, okay, there we go. It's starting to work now. Sorry about that little hiccup. Not really good. So you can, as you see, it's just downloaded there. So then you can navigate to where you saved it. It's good to save it in your server. So you see, I've got all these different servers for different things. But here it is. I should be able to just slowly move on and drop it into the plugins folder. So here you go. I'm just going to get rid of the PEX jar which you've got here, and then you want to install Essential Pro at the same time. I'll do another tutorial on that. So when I do that, I'll put a link into this video on how to do that. So what you want to do is right click it. I don't know if this happens with all the different folders and stuff with the normal zipping things with Windows and stuff, but what I'd do is I'd click extract files here. Alternatively, you can go inside, take a look at things, and first thing I want to say is there's 3 different things that you can get from this. You can have modify world, chat manager, and permissions. Usually I just use permissions, and that's what I have in my server. I just have the permissions bit because I don't really need to use these personally. But what modify world does is it enables you to take certain parts of your world and let people do certain commands in it and have certain things, capabilities they can do in that part of the world. So it would be really good for mini games and stuff. So that can be really helpful, but I don't personally use it. And chat manager is just all different types of well, chat editing stuff. So you can change the colour of people's names. Oh god, what have I done? It's probably going to open something right now. Chat manager can change the colour of people's names and all sorts, but I don't really use that either because you can do it with permissions. So you can choose which 3 of them you want. But yeah, I personally just use permissions. So today I'll just go through permissions, and if you double click it, you can then just click on that and drag it into here. So you've got it PermissionsEx there. Then you can, I'll just delete this, and then you've got it in your plugins directory in your server. So this is just a little craft bucket server. So where's the plugins there? So you've got PermissionsEx there, and then the next step that you want to do is go to server start. Just run your server. There you go, PermissionsEx. It's loading permissions. It should come up somewhere. There you go. See, it should come up with all the PermissionsEx, super person support enabled, and PermissionsEx enabled. If you get any problems, just reinstall it, see if it works. If not, there's either a problem with the plugin or something strange happened with you installing it or downloading the wrong thing, or out of date build, I should say. So once you've done that and your server says done, just close the server and go back up to your plugins. And what you should see now is a folder called PermissionsEx. If you go into that, you get 2 notepad files called config and permissions. First we'll just take a little quick look at config, then we'll go through the permissions bit. So what you'll want to do with this is download Notepad++. It's so much better than doing it in Notepad. It makes it a lot easier to see things, and it makes it so much better. So I'll put a link in the descriptions for that. So you'll definitely want to get Notepad++ for this, especially if you're doing server things like this all the time. You'll definitely want Notepad++. It's just the most helpful program on the planet, I should think. And if you click edit with Notepad++, this is what will come out with permissions, backends, file permissions.yml. And if you change this, you can just see what the permissions are taken from. So this is taken from the permissions.ym. My permissions will be taken from the permissions.yml, which is that. So basically this is telling the permissions plugin where to take the permissions from. So if you change the name of this to PermissionsEx, for example, and you wanted it to still work, I don't know why I've still got that up. Close that. You would have to change the name of that to PermissionsEx, like that or something. But I don't know why you'd want to change that really, but yeah, you can. So that's basically what the config file's for. So you can just close out, say no, and right. Now we'll go through permissions. So this is where it all gets good. It's basically you have groups, default, which is just saying the default group. Then you got default for building. So whether I had to build, I think that's what that does. And then you got the permissions underneath, which modify world you might not have heard of before, but this enables the player to go through things which can edit the world. So for example, they can chat in the chat, or use all sorts of different things. So that could be quite helpful for, say, if you had separate chats for new people, so they could just speak to admins, or I don't know, whatever you think would be good for that. So you could use that modify world plugin quite effectively. So really, no, so that's the group name. I didn't mean to say that. So it's called default, this group. I like to call it. You can just change this. If you just go back like that, so you have nothing, and you should be able to see this line just here. There's like a little line, and you'll line the cursor thing, the writing bit, with that line, and you can call it something like guest. So your new players are called guests when they join the game. Then you can go to permissions and change the permissions. The default is whether it's the default group. So that's when the player joins, it'll be the default group that they go into. So you can change which group they go into by default. So then you can have a rank up system when they read the rules, for example, or something like that, along those lines. And they'll read the rules, and then they can join the server and build or chat or whatever you want them to do. So to add permissions is probably what you really wanted to watch this plugin for. Just to know what to do with PermissionsEx and how to configure all this. So as a new person, this is all very confusing. So it's really simple. You will get used to it. I took ages to remember this all and stuff. So all you want to do is go to the last bit here and press enter. It'll take you there. Don't move this or anything. And all you want to do is do a dash space, and then you want to write the plugin node that you want there. And the plugin node is something like this, like modify world, and every single plugin that pretty much is out there will have permission nodes, so that you can put them in here and allow players to use that plugin command or whatever. So say the essentials, which I'm sure most of you know what essentials is. If you're not, it's just like a big server command thing which can help you to do loads of commands like warps and TPs and sort of that. If you wanted this plugin to be able to TP, you type something like essentials dot. You have to remember the dot. That's like a really important bit. I've done too many S's there. So you want to just like essentials dot warp like that, and then they'll be able to. Sorry, that's warping. I don't TP, but yeah, you can do essentials dot warp, essentials dot TP or TPA, or whatever you want to give them. And you can see how this thing has a modifier .star. Star simply means that they can use every single command in that plugin. So that's what that does. Another thing that you can do is you can take, get rid of both of these like that, and keep it there. And you can do dash space, and what you want to do is the little apostrophe mark, and then you do that, and you put a star in, and you do it again, and that will allow everyone in the guest group, to use every single command in the game. So we'll quickly use that for now, and yeah, do that. So that's how you give everyone every single command. And we'll leave it like that a minute, just so it makes it simpler. So to add a new group, actually no, I won't do that. I'll show you how to add colours. What you do is you go here and then you type prefix. It should be, yes, there. You type prefix, do colon, space, apostrophe, then the prefix you want to give them. So the prefix will come up before their name. So say my in-game name is Minkey007. This will come up something like, say I was the co-owner, it would come up as co-owner. You have to put those I can't think what they're called now, brackets in there, so it separates the name and the co-owner part. But that's just to make it look nice, because if you have it like that, if you have it like that, it just looks like one big word, and it's not that nice. So that's what I'd advise doing little brackets or whatever these are. I don't know what they are really. So yeah, if you do that, that's pretty much what a prefix is and what it does. So I don't know why default true is. 1 second. I think I've done something strange. There we go. Yeah. So what you want to do is do prefix dash apostrophe. Type the prefix. So say you wanted the prefix to be the same as the name of the group. You just type guest inside there, like that. Oops, sorry. And then, as I said before, you can add these if you want it to look a little bit neater, and it looks just really good. So what you've done now is made that group have a prefix, which allows you to see what group that person's in the game. And what you can also add to prefix is different colours and all sorts to it. So say you wanted to have the prefix as, I don't know, a random colour. I don't know what the colours are by heart, I can't remember. or anyway. But usually the color codes, well, they almost always start with always start with an and then it's a number or a letter afterwards. If you want to know that, I'll put a link in the description for the colors. And usually it's just a number or a letter after it to say number. So it's and then the letter and number. And 7, I can't remember, it's something like red or something, or blue, one of those colours. And that will make that guessed word in red or whatever colour it is, in the specific colour you want. But if you want, like, if you have that like that, it'll make the whole of what they say red, so it'll come up as with the prefix is red, the name is red, and the chat is red. If you want just the prefix to be red, what you need to do is after the last letter or mark, whatever they're called, can't think of anything at the moment, of your prefix, you put another and an F, which is white, so it'll take it back to white to let you have a white type, or and the name is white, so you can just see the title in a different colour. And once you've done that, you can make any other colour you want, really. You can just make the chat a different colour or whatever. Make sure that you don't have this on the same line like I did. Just press enter and it'll go back down. And that is how you do the prefix. So to add a new group, you need to do enter under the permissions, go back to here, which is the line, as you can see just here, this line, and type the group name. So say I wanted a group called moderator. I did not spell that right. Moderator, there you go. Then you essentially just follow the guideline of the original one. So what you want to do is have groups, guest, prefix, default, permissions, and just follow like that. So then press enter when you've done the name, press tab, which will take you 2 spaces and line up this line again, so that you'll have it like that. Then you can do the prefix. If you want a prefix for the moderator, you have to type default for some reason, so just type default. I can't remember which way is which, but I think true is so they can't build or something. No, the default is so with the default, so you can actually leave that out. You just leave it out like that. Let's do that again. Then you just type permissions like that and enter, and write your permissions out again. So say you wanted this person to have all of the essentials commands, you do essentials dot start, and you'll have all the essentials commands. So for this example, we'll give this person all the commands as well, so it just makes it simpler to show you that you've got all the commands and everything. Actually, no, it won't work. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do essentials. We've got all the commands. Oops. And then all we've got is essentials. If you've got a plugin that you don't want anyone to use, just leave it blank. Don't even mention that plugin in this permissions thing. It won't let them use it if it's not in here. So just leave any plugin that you don't want them to use out of this. Just don't type anything about the plugin in here, or it will prevent them from using a command or something. So the only command I can use is essentials.star. So if we save this, it will take us into game. So I'm just going to pause this video. Sorry, I cannot remember. I'll do that. I can't remember how to pause the video with the hotkeys, so I'm going to fail here. But we'll take this. Actually, no, I won't. I've got more to say. If you go enter, you can give in PermissionsEx, you can give ranks, which basically means that the person will have, you can in-game rank them up. So if you go here, you type options like that, press enter, tab twice, and then rank. Wow, that was amazing spelling. Then type rank space 1 like that or something. This will be the highest rank, and the higher the number, the lower the rank, obviously. So it's like a race. Person in first is the winner. So this person with the highest rank is number 1, and they will be the highest rank you can achieve. So that'll be the highest rank you can get to. So you can give, say this is the lowest group, and for example you had 10 groups. You could type, I can't remember where that goes exactly. It might be the options, tab, ranks, colon space apostrophe 10, and that'll be the lowest rank, be 10th rank in your ranks. So you could have 9 other ranks before it, and it'll be lower than all of those. So that means in game you can use that to rank them up through in-game commands and etc. So I will install this into the game and we will get back to it. So I will see you in game. Welcome back to my PermissionsEx plugin tutorial. In this part of the tutorial I'm going to be looking at how to use it in game and some of the features it includes. So if you are in game, you'll have a prefix. If you set up prefixes like I showed you in the first part of the tutorial, and yeah, you can have everything. So in chat, as you just saw, there's guest Minkey007. I said hi, and then I tried to perform some commands, and a few of them were like trying to change my game mode or opt myself or whatever. So yeah, it either says sorry, you don't have enough permissions, or you do not have access to that command. So if I type hi again, I've got a guest, and my prefix is I'm a guest, and the command that you'll want to use to change your group is this. If you look in the chat, I can press it. I can't. But essentially, what you do is /pex user. Then you type the user, so that is the person's name. So it's Minkey007's me. Then you type group, add. Then you type the group name. So, for example, owner. And then you can choose the world. So, say I just wanted to choose them to be in that group in this world, and then they'd be in the default group for the never, or they could be in the default group for the end, or they could be an owner in this world and co-owner in the never, or whatever. You could choose which world they are those things in, and then you can choose them at lifetime. So yeah, you can choose how long they stay with that. So that can be quite useful for donations, or ranking up systems, or however you want to do it, or they could pay and gain money for it, or whatever. Fortunately for everyone, a person who is a guest or default, which is normally the default prefix or name for the group that you originally join in, can't use this command. So if I do that, sorry, do you have enough permissions, will come up, and that will it won't let you use that. So what you have to do is, give me a second, and actually it won't come up with it. Oh well. But if you want to change it, you have to go into your permissions file for PermissionsEx and give the default group all the commands temporarily, so that you can use all the commands with that with the default group, and then you can change your group to a group like owner or co-owner, so you can use that command with the default group with all commands. So the default group, we have to use every single command in the game, and then you do that. Then you do that command, make you into an owner, go back into the file, and make sure you change it back. From experience, someone managed to hack into my server and they destroyed the whole thing when I didn't change it back. So definitely change it back when you've finished doing that, pretty much instantly, so that you can just be the one person who has that, and then the default group will still have no commands or whatever. I've not changed the default group to not be able to build, but you can. That's an option. You can stop the default group from building. So that they have to rank. They have to say read the rules before they can rank up. You can configure PermissionsEx to do that. You can use essentials to configure it. So a cool thing that does is it combines with PEX, and when it says welcome to the server, it'll say welcome co-owner Minkey007 or guest Minkey007. So it'll actually show their prefix when it welcomes to the server. So that's a pretty cool thing that essentials includes. It means you can also sort of give them different commands of that and all sorts. So that's essentially what it does in game, apart from obviously giving other people different commands and all sorts. So if I try to like game mode, oops, game mode 1, No, that won't work because I'm already in game mode 1. I'll explain why I'm in game mode 1. Don't worry, no one will start in game mode 1 when you do. So I don't have access to that command. The reason I'm in game mode 1, or creative, whatever you call it, is because I was a co-owner originally. So I was in the co-owner group, and then I changed my game mode, and then I changed it back to me being a default group and left myself in creative. So that's what I'm in creative. So don't worry, you have millions of people flying around on your server when you do it. But yeah, that's essentially what it does in game, and it's really helpful plugin. It's really great. I'd advise it over almost every plugin. It can be used with so many plugins as well. It's like it can be configured with Essentials, Bycraft, and then obviously it can be configured with every plugin in the world. But you can use it to basically do donations and all sorts. So it's a great plugin for permissions. I'd use it over anything. So yeah, I hope this tutorial has been helpful, and please leave your comments and whatever. Leave your comments on what sort of plugins you want me to do some tutorials on. And please just do everything cool. Be cool people. So thanks for watching. This has been the first Bukkit plugin tutorial with Minkey007 for the Blockheads, and goodbye.